Hey everyone, welcome to the Blue Wave English. Today we're diving into a story that almost every one of us has lived through at least one. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Emma. Today's topic is painfully real. So real that I almost didn't make it to the recording this morning.
Yeah, this episode is called I Was Late for Work This Morning. And no, this is not a made-up story. This is 100% Emma's actual morning.
Thanks for exposing me right from the start.
You're welcome. I've been late plenty of times too. Today, we're going to walk through the entire disaster, from the moment the alarm went off to the moment she sprinted into the office, and maybe pull out a few lessons, or at least some comfort for anyone listening while stuck on a late bus right now.
All right, let's do this. Ryan, you ready for the full chaos report?
Ready. I'm already picturing multiple snoozes, cold water, and a motorbike that refused to start.
You're not wrong. It was worse. Okay, starting from the beginning. Last night I went to bed around 1 a.m. for no good reason. I was just scrolling TikTok, then somehow ended up on YouTube Shorts, and suddenly a 40-minute cooking video appeared. I watched the whole thing.
Classic. That's how an evening quietly turns into the middle of the night without anyone noticing.
Exactly. I set my alarm for 6:30. Normally, I get up at 6:30 and I'm out the door in about 45 minutes. But this morning, the alarm rang at 6:30. I reached over, turned it off, and hit snooze. Once, twice, 3 times.
3 snoozes means you actually got up at what time?
7:15. And then I stayed in bed for another 5 minutes because my brain was busy convincing me that just 5 more minutes and I'll still make it.
Morning brains are professional liars.
100%. At 7:20, I finally sat up, looked at the clock, heart started racing. I did the math. Shower, 10 minutes. Get dressed, 5 minutes. Light makeup, 7 minutes. Breakfast, skip it. Leave by 7:45 and I still had a chance.
Sounds like a solid plan on paper.
On paper, yes. In reality, no. I walked into the bathroom, turned on the water, and no hot water. Why? Because I'd forgotten to tell the landlord the water heater was getting weak. So I had to take a cold shower. It's not freezing this time of year, but it was cold enough for me to stand there cursing under my breath for 3 full minutes.
A cold shower while already running late is a special kind of psychological torture.
It really is. After the shower, I rushed to get dressed, opened the closet, and realized the white shirt I planned to wear was at the bottom of the dirty laundry pile. I forgot to wash it.
No.
Yes, so I had to dig for another option. Finally found a black shirt, but one of the buttons was loose. I had to sew it on temporarily for 4 minutes. While sewing, I kept glancing at the clock and whispering to myself, "Emma, you are actively ruining your own life."
I can picture that clearly. Hands shaking, needle flying.
Shaking and almost tearing up. After clothes, I sat down for makeup. Just powder, eyeliner, and lipstick. But my hands were still shaky from stress, so the eyeliner went crooked. I had to wipe it off and do it again. Another 3 minutes gone.
What's the total time at this point?
7:48. I still hadn't eaten, hadn't fully finished brushing my teeth, and hadn't grabbed my keys yet.
Disaster level rising.
I decided to skip breakfast completely. Brushed my teeth as fast as possible, grabbed my bag and keys, and ran out the door at 7:52. My office is about 25 minutes away if there's no traffic. Work starts at 8:30. Still hopeful.
Thin hope.
Very thin. I went downstairs to my motorbike, put the key in, turned it. Nothing. Tried again. Still nothing. Third try, it made a weak clicking sound and died.
Out of gas?
No. I filled it up 2 days ago. The battery was weak. I'd known since last week, but told myself, it won't die this week. Of course, it chose this exact morning.
Motorbikes have a sixth sense for when their owners are already late.
Exactly. I stood there for about 40 seconds in complete freeze mode. Then my brain switched to survival. I called a grab. Luckily, a driver accepted right away. He arrived in 4 minutes. I jumped on at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, 30 minutes left, 25-minute ride. Still possible.
Possible if there were no red lights and no everything else. It started drizzling. The driver was pretty fast, but when we hit the main road, traffic slowed down. Not completely stuck, but slow. Very slow. I sat on the back, staring at my phone. 8:07, 8:12, 8:18.
Feels like time is mocking you.
It really does. I started running scenarios in my head. If I arrive at 8:35, still acceptable. 8:40, I'll get a gentle reminder. Later than that, I stopped calculating.
Did you message your boss?
Yes. At 8:15, I texted, "Hey, I'm stuck in traffic. I'll be about 10 to 15 minutes late." He replied with a thumbs up emoji. I still don't know if that meant okay or I'm noting this down.
A thumbs up emoji when you're late is one of the most ambiguous things in the world.
Agreed. Finally, the car pulled up to the office gate at 8:37. I paid, thanked the driver like he'd saved my life, and sprinted inside. Hair slightly wet from the rain, one button still a little loose, makeup a bit smudged from stress and humidity.
And the face you walked in with?
The face of someone who just finished a marathon but is trying very hard to look normal. I said hi to everyone, put my bag down, opened my laptop. The colleague next to me looked over and asked, "You okay today?" I smiled and said, "Yeah, just a special morning."
Special is the perfect word.
Right? Then I sat down, took a deep breath, and told myself, at least I didn't call in sick.
That's a low bar, but a very real one. Okay, I want to ask a few questions. First, what do you think was the root cause?
Going to bed late. Everything started there. If I had slept at 11, none of this domino chain would have happened.
Second, while you were stuck in traffic, what were you thinking about the most?
What I would say if my boss asked, whether there was an important meeting, and why I keep repeating the same mistake. Because this wasn't the first time I've been late.
How often are you late in a month?
On average, 2 or 3 times. Sometimes more if the week is messy. I'm not the always-on-time type, but I'm not completely unreliable either. I just consistently underestimate how long mornings take.
Same here. I used to tell myself I work well under pressure. Really, that was just a nicer way of saying I manage time poorly.
Yes, morning pressure doesn't make me more efficient. It just makes me more stressed, my makeup worse, and my mood shorter with everyone around me.
So after today, any concrete plans to change?
Yes, I've reset my bedtime. From now on, in bed by 11, no matter how good the video is. I'll also lay out my clothes the night before. And this weekend, I'm checking the motorbike and replacing the battery.
Sounds determined.
Very determined. At least until tonight. Not sure if it'll survive until tomorrow.
Honest. Want me to share one of mine real quick? Last month, I was late because I forgot my staff card. I arrived on time, stood at the door trying to tap in, then realized the card was still at home. Had to go all the way back. Lost another 40 minutes. When I finally walked in, the whole team was in a meeting, and everyone stared at me like I was an alien.
Painful.
Extremely. And the root cause was the same as yours. I prepared everything too late and too carelessly.
So why do we keep repeating it even when we know the consequences?
Because our brains love immediate comfort. 10 more minutes of sleep feels better than getting up on time. One more video feels better than putting the phone down. We know the price, but the price is in the future, and the comfort is right now.
That sounds scientific, but accurate.
And another reason, we keep telling ourselves just this once. Just one more snooze. Just one more video. Just leave the clothes for today. I'll prepare early tomorrow. But just this once repeated enough times becomes a habit.
I just got slapped by the truth.
Sorry. But that's why I think sharing these stories helps. When we admit out loud that we were late, that we were messy, that we're not perfect, at least we stop lying to ourselves.
True. This morning, while running into the office, I thought, fine, at least I'll tell Ryan the whole thing on the podcast. At least the embarrassment can become content.
Turning embarrassment into content is an important modern survival skill.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people listening have had similar mornings. Someone forgot to charge their phone, so the alarm died. Someone got stuck because of an accident. Someone simply didn't want to get up.
Or their cat was sleeping on them and they didn't have the heart to move it.
Also a valid reason.
Besides preparing the night before, what else do you think helps reduce the chance of being late?
Don't force yourself to make too many decisions in the morning. Morning brains are not fully online. If you have to choose clothes, choose breakfast, choose the route, it's easy to slow down. So prepare as much as possible the night before. Clothes ready, simple breakfast, keys, card, earphones in the same spot every day.
And put the alarm across the room so you have to stand up to turn it off.
I tried that. Worked for about a week. Then I moved it back next to the bed because I got lazy.
The war against laziness is a long one.
Very long. But at least today I learned one clear lesson. Never trust the sentence, "I'll deal with it tomorrow," because tomorrow becomes today very quickly.
And when it becomes today, you're sitting on the back of a Grab, staring at the clock, and asking yourself why you didn't listen to yourself.
You're right.
One more slightly personal question. When you finally walked into the office late, what was the strongest feeling? Embarrassment? Fear of being called out? Or just pure exhaustion?
A mix. First was embarrassment. I hate being the person who rushes in while everyone else is already settled. Second was a bit of worry. I don't want to look unprofessional. And third, honestly, some self-blame. Like, you knew better and still let this happen.
I think a lot of people feel the same. We want understanding, but we also judge ourselves pretty hard.
Yeah. So while telling this story today, I also want to say to myself and to anyone listening, being late is not the end of the world. But if it keeps happening, it starts affecting how people see you and how you feel about yourself. So it's still better to keep it rare.
Agreed. And we should also remember that sometimes being late isn't about laziness. Life happens. Bike breaks down, heavy rain, family emergency. In those cases, don't beat yourself up too much.
The important thing is knowing the difference between life happened and I actively created the chaos.
Perfect. This morning leaned more toward the second one.
I accept that.
Good. Acceptance is step 1.
Step 2 is replacing the battery. Step 3 is going to bed earlier. I'll try.
I'll check on you next episode.
Please don't. I'm scared.
So that was Emma's full chaotic morning. From multiple snoozes, cold water, a loose button, a dead battery, light rain, to the mysterious thumbs up emoji from the boss.
Hearing the summary makes me sound like the main character of a sitcom.
A real-life sitcom. Hopefully today's story made some of you feel a little less alone if you've ever sprinted into work the same way.
And if you're listening to this while currently running late, well, at least you're using the time productively.
True. Before we wrap up, a small note. A messy morning doesn't define your whole day. You can still do good work, still laugh, and still go home and turn it into a funny story.
And if you want to avoid repeating this exact plot, try preparing just one thing the night before. Even a small step is already better.
Thanks, Emma, for sharing so honestly and in such detail.
Thanks for listening without judging me. Too hard.
And thank you all for listening to the first episode of Morning Chaos. If you have your own legendary late for work story, send it our way. Maybe the next episode will be yours.
Don't forget to follow and leave a like if this felt way too familiar. See you in the next one.
Bye for now, and may your alarm win tomorrow morning.
Oh, come on.